is up, you guys? So, let the carnage begin with Jack and the boys. So, with this episode of One Piece, let's start from the beginning. Actually, Law reuniting with Beppo and the rest of the Heart Pirates. That was kind of cool. The whole thing was the whole build up to Wanda explaining what happened when they were invaded, or I guess attacked. Now, we do have some timeline stuff to go through. So apparently, according to what Wanda said, 17 days ago, Beppo and the rest of the crew arrived. Then followed by Jack and the boys, who demolished the front gate. I guess the bell was rung, so everybody was on high alert. But obviously, they weren't prepared for the carnage that waits. However, I don't know if they added bits of filler. I'm pretty sure they did. With some of the Minks, I guess the Farter Minks actually took down some of the subordinates, the lackeys of Jack and his boys, and that's kind of a breath of fresh air because the explanation what the Minks can actually defend themselves even if they're infants, so that's kind of refreshing because every time we've had a new arc, say like Fisherman Island, maybe even Dressrosa, people turn out to be nothing but disappointment. So to see the Minks can put up a fight, at least for now, is a refreshing to see, even in One Piece. So that's cool. But if you know anything about One Piece, you know that's not going to last long, especially now that Jack is pissed. He's just demolishing it. He's demolishing everything. And the whole thing about them trying to find a ninja named Rizo, who is obviously, it's a very touchy subject with Wanda and the rest of the Minks, because Rizo, the person that Jack was searching for, is the reason they demolished the whole place in the first place. So that right there, and spoiler warning, there is a connection there, and you can pick certain things, especially when Wanda's like saying, "Oh, we don't know." Well, just I won't say too much about that, but you'll be surprised in the end by how well things played out. But and obviously, again, I think I said this in the previous episodes, but Kinemon and Kanjuro not being on Zo right now is obviously a plot twist, and even Luffy goes on to mention he don't. I don't know if he mentioned this in the manga, so obviously they're trying to make him look like a dumbass in the anime. But he goes out and says, "Oh, didn't Kinemon say we're going to look for like a ninja or somebody?" So obviously they blurred it out. Everybody gets super freaked out because if one hears this, they hot shit. But it looks like they're going to meet some. I guess we're going to get Inuarashi in the next episode, and possibly Nekomamushi as well. If you look at the preview, it looks like they take a back, and just demolishing it. They obviously want him to settle down and talk things out. Obviously, they're trying to explain to Jack why we hand somebody over who isn't here, and obviously Jack. Now I think about how did they know about Rizo being on Zo in the first place, and number two, something they brought up as well is how did they actually get into Zo in the first place, and the whole thing about the introduction of Jack anyway, I think we got kind of teased a couple of episodes ago after Dressrosa, but the full body, I guess the full mouth version of Jack, yeah, and even if you look at the opening, it was kind of spoiled anyway, but the way they did it is kind of like they're doing everything in their power to like make it a big deal. So they even silhouetted some of the parts, especially when it comes to the smoke. It totally reminds me of the way they introduced Kaido, even before then. And the same thing, the animation in this episode was actually a lot better than I thought it'd be. A lot better episode. It's more exposition about more information of what went down on Zo, and so the way it looks like, I'm guessing Beppo was going to join the fight anyway because he got fucked up. So it looks like we're going to see how they fared against Jack and the boys. But yeah, this episode pretty much the Minks against the Jack father, I guess. And we come to find out by the end, before we get out the flashback. By the way, they did that one too many times in this episode. I would have been fine with having a flashback and Wanda narrating it, but they came in and out for comedy purposes as well. But that being said, what we do find out is that Jack actually summons the Grifters, and I guess there's a higher caliber of zone type Devil Fruit users that Kaido has been unleashing. So I guess we're going to see what And if you look at some of the designs, like I think one of them has a weird arm, and it's a lot more different than seeing it in the manga. So that's going to be cool to see in the next episode. All hell's going to break loose, obviously, and with it looks like Wanda and Kara are going to join the fray, and it looks like things are going to be bad. But I think we'll get introduction to Inuyasha and possibly Nekomamushi, I hope. But we're getting closer and closer to that all important, and still no, and still be of where the hell Sanji, if you only watch the anime. So still stay tuned for that because we've still got a bit to go for the flashback. But yeah, you can see where things are adding up a little bit with the attack on Zoe. Even Zanisha was crying the moment Jack stepped foot, which is also foreshadowing as well. If you read the manga, you know what's going to happen. So as for you guys, there is going to be some foreshadowing, and it's actually going to be poetic justice by the end of this arc. But for me, this was a solid episode, not the best of episodes. I mean, yeah, the relief in this episode, and we had bits of filler which I thought helped, especially when it comes to the Minx battling against Jack and the boys. It's again, the Minx handle it, being learning how to use it, just even from is pretty impressive. So that's kind of cool. Other than that, it's a decent episode, but it's going to build up and build up and build up, and it's only get better from here. So that's it from me. Thank you guys so much. What you guys think about the reveal of Jack, even though kind of got spoiled in the opening anyway. I mean, his biggest fault lesson was about it. Even if you compare him to the size of Kaido in mammoth form, there's going to be something else to Jack as well a little bit soon. There's going to like holy shit. Not only his form and his abilities, but also his bounty as well. So be on the lookout for that. That's it for me.